You're welcome to my channel, Mindset Academy, where we want to reproduce the figure that is displayed at the right hand side of the screen in isometric projection. When you hear the word isometric projection, the first thing you have to do is to draw your isometric axis. That is your x, y, and what? And z axis, right? So I'm going to take this. I'll draw my vertical line this way, right? As I'm placing it on my what? On my t-square. And I'll take this. I'll draw my x and my z axis. You can see that. Now, from what we have here, the entire length here, as shown in the diagram, is given to be 120. So from this point here, I am going to measure 120. So from 0 to 12 is 120, because they are all in what? In millimeter. Then the other part here, I'm going to draw the width here is given to be 80. So I'm going to measure 80 from this point here. From 0 to 8 is what? Is 80. And the height is given to be, if you add 15, from here to here is 15. 15 plus 60, that is 75. And 75 plus 35 here, because the diameter of this outer circle is 70 and radius is 35. So when you add them, you'll be having 110. So the entire height here is given to be 110, right? So this is 110. From 0 to 11 is 110. So I'll make it to form what? A box. So forming a box, I'll be having something like this. From here, I'll take it up and I'll take it up. Then I'll close it up this way. Also, I'll close it up too. And also, I'll close it up too. And also, I'll close it up too. Right? So this is the box I have. Then I'll start carving out my images from the box. First of all, we will start from the plane here. The entire length here, we see it is what? 80. And I can just take in that part that says it is what? 80. So from here to here, 80. And now taking it. Right? I'm taking it from here. Can you see that? Then the height is given to be 15. So I'm going to measure 15 upward from this direction here. From 0 to 15. At this position. And I'll use the help of my t-square. Place my set square on my t-square this way. Right? And I'm going to take in it from this point to this point. Right? Hope you can see that. And also, I'll close it up. Now come here also, I'll close it up. So it is still uniform from this point. From here to here is from here to the ending of this line. Can you see that? Now from here to here is from here to here, which is thickened. Now the next one here that we have is here to this point here. We are not told. So what we'll do is we'll get the half of what? 120. So if I'm to get the half of 120, that will be what? That will be 60. So I'll just measure 60 here this way from 0 to 6, right? Is 60. Then I'll draw a vertical line a little bit up here. So if I draw the vertical line up here this way, it means that if from here to here is 60, right? Then I am going to measure 30 to the left and 30 to the right. So I can use my compass to do that trick. So you take, or you just place your compass here, 0, this is 30, right? And I place it at the center here. I measure 30 to the right and also 30 to the left. Can you see that? And I'll just take it up my fence line first a little bit. I'll take it up again here a little bit. Can you see that? Now aside that, we're going to thicken from this point to this point, and also from this point to this point. You can see that? Now the thickness from here to here is given to be 5, right? So let's measure the 5 millimeter from here, from 0 to 5, and I'm going to close it up with the help of my T-square and C-square. Place it on it this way, and I'll close it up. And also I'll close it up, and also I'll close it up. Now to show that this is a block, look at the diagram very well, you see a line here, so just place it on your T-square this way, and you close it up. Can you see that? And you can use your instrument to cover up this block here. Can you see that? So the next thing that is important here that we have to do here is that I'm going to get the center of the figure here, because it is centralized. So I'll get the center of the figure here. If from here to here is 80, half of it will be what? 40. So I'm going to measure 40 from 0 to 40, right? Then I'll draw a line across that point this way. So on that line, right, I'm going to measure a length of 30. You see from here to here is 30, right? So I'll measure 30 from that point. So measuring 30 from that point, from 0 to 30, you can see that? And I'll draw a line across that point this way. Hope you can see what I'm doing here. Once I've done that, right, now the entire length of this cylinder here is 60. So I'll just measure 30 to the left, 30 to the right. Are you with me? So if I measure 30 to the left, 30 to the right this way, we know from here to here is 30 as I measured earlier. If I place it here, I'm going to measure 30 to this point and also 30 to this point, right? Then aside that, I'll just draw a line this way first of all, and I want this way all together. Now if you look closely, from here to this end point here is 35, from here to here is 35. So I'm going to measure the 35 from this point, from 0 to 35. This is 35 here. So this is where the line is going to stop. This is 35 we have. So we can start moving forward now. Now from this point here, discover that I'll draw a vertical line upward, or before I draw a vertical line, we know the thickness of this two figure here is given to be, we have, let's draw the cylinder first. We have 80 diameter of what? Of 70, right? And also that of what? Of 60. So what I'll just do is I'm going to draw out the box. Is that taken? So how will I draw the box? I'll locate the center of this circle here, which is 60. So from here, I will draw a line upward this way. And I'm going to measure 60 upward. From 0, this is 60 here. Can you see that? Then that will be the center of that figure. Then on that point, I'm going to measure to just draw my center line. So this is where I'm actually focusing on. So what I'll do on that point is that since the total diameter, the outer diameter is 70, you can see that. I'm going to measure half of it, which is what? Which is 35. So from 0 to 35. Can you see that? And I'll place it at this point. I'm going to mark 35 up, 35 to the left, 35 down, 35 to the right. This is what I'm going to form my box from. These are the points. Let me name it to be 1, 0.2, 0.3, and 4. This is the 4 points I'm actually focusing on. So on that point, I am going to draw my isometric circle. But before I do that, I'll use this to draw a length of what? Of we have 60, right? A length of what? Of 60. So let's do that and see. So if I should draw from here, I'm going to have a straight line this way, and from here also. I'll draw a straight line this way. So on that line, I'll now measure what? 60. From 0 here to this point is 60. And I'll close it up. So this is what we're actually focusing on. Please don't get confused with the figure. So from here to this point here is 60. That's what we have there, right? So let me just bring it down. So I brought out that length of 60. Let's confirm that again. It ought to be what? 60. Yes, it is. So with that, we will search forward. We want to draw out the circle that we have here. right? We know that from this point to this point is 70, and from here to here is 60. So we'll start drawing our diagram out. First of all, let's draw the circle that we have here. Connect the longest diagonal, then connect from 3 to this point, and from 3 to this point. This is what we have here, from here to here. So I'm going to use my compass here, and I'm going to draw a circle that will connect these two together. Then I'll come here also. I'll do the same thing. I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing. Then here also, I'll do the same thing. So it is from this point we are sure that the thickness from here to here is 10. So I'm going to measure 10 with the help of my instrument here. From this center point, this line I drew up first of all. From here I'm going to measure 10. So this is 5 to the left and also 5 to the right. So I'm going to bring it down to touch the base, right, in this way. From here too, you can see that. Then I will thicken the rest in this way, right? So this is one of them that we have here, and the rest is also, there's another one at the center, right? We have an hidden circle, but if I do that, let's move forward. So at this point I can easily do the same thing, get the center of 60, which is 30, because it is centralized. This wave here is centralized, so I'll get the center of 60, which is 30. So this is 60, this is 30 here, and I'll measure 10. From 30 I'll measure 5 to the left and 5 to the right. So that is where I'm going to place my circle. So let me just use it to form a box. Right, so that is the box I am forming. You can see that. This is where they are. So I still need one more part again. So project this inward this way and this inward this way. Then I want this to touch the line. To touch the same line, let me call it 0.5, right? And 0.6. So do the same thing here too. From here, this to touch the line. Which is at this point here, 0.7. So since I connected this diagonal from here to here, I also connect diagonal from 6 to this point here. Also connect diagonal from here to this point here. You can see that. So I'll do for the last point here too. Wow, it ought to be touching this line here. So to touch the other line, sorry, touch here and here. So meaning that from this 6 here to touch this point here. So don't get twisted. From 6 to touch here, right? Then from 6 here also to touch here. All together. So this is what we're focusing on. So what I need is I will transfer the point from this point to touch this point and to touch this point here, and from here to touch here and to touch here. These are the 2 points. Let me call it point A, point B, C, and D. So I'll draw a circle there. Also, I'm going to connect this last point to this point here. To transfer that point also to that point. So I'm repeating the same process. So this point should be on the same point here, and this point here should be on the same point here. So let's see. Now we also need the baseline here, right? Just draw this way. And we bring it out. So if I should bring this is touching here, right? And this also is touching here, and this also is touching here. It's touching here. This is what we have here, these 2 points. So while I'm doing all this, you're like, what's this man doing here? So you take your instrument from this point. We know that this point here, if I transfer it from here, is this point here. And this point here is this point here. So I'll just connect it from this last point to this point, and I'll get this. You can see that. And this other one from here to touch this point here. So I can easily use my instrument and connect these 2 points. Right, and the other one from this point. If I measured, from here, I pick up a point and I measure 10 to the left and 10 to the right. So I'll do the same thing here, 5, 5 each. All together, 5, 5 each from this point. So from here, let's draw a front line first. First of all, let's measure 5, 5 each. So if I come here on this same line here, remember I have this point to this line, and I'll do the same thing that I did here. This line here, right? That is this. And the next one, which is 7, will be on the next point here too. Right? So if I should place it at B, I'll have this. If I place it at A, I'll have this. So this is the 2 point I'll move to touch here on my diagram. So at the center line, I'm going to measure 5, 5, 2. Starting from 0, I'll measure 5 and 5. And at that point, I'm going to move my line from here, right? I'll bring it down to touch here. And from this other point too, I'll bring it down to touch here. But it don't necessarily come from the top. It's more from the center line here. And this is the center line at this point here. Look at it here. This line is the center of the circle. So that means whatever I'm doing should be from this side here. So this is where I will draw my line from. And from this point too. Right. So I'll just take this. Let's see. From the baseline, I'll take this in. So take in. And I'll take this in. Now this is going up. And this is closing up. Right. Then this. So just close it up. Sorry, from here. Two. Let me take it out. So I can now take it here out. Also, I'm taking it out too. Also, and here too. And here too. Alright. So now still remaining the internal circle here. So I don't have just I won't stress myself since the diameter is 50. I'll just measure half of 50, which is 25. So measure half of 50, which is 25, and 0, which is 25 here. And I'll place it here at the center point. 25 up, 25 down, 25 to the left, and 25 to the right. Right? And I'll take this, draw my box out. So I'll just pick a point from where they meet here, where this line and this line meet. I'll draw a line to touch here. I'll draw another one to touch here. So this is where they're meeting here. So I can now take my compass, place it at this point. Have this. Alright. I'll come to this end point too. I'll do the same thing. I'll come to this point too. I'll close it up. Then here too. I'll close it up. So I should taking it out now, so we'll see. Now doing that, we still have some circles at this point here. Are we together? And we're told that it is 50 millimeter apart. So what I'll do is I'll take half of it, which is 25, 0 to 25, and I'll place it here. I'll mark 25 here and 25 here. That again. Then I'll just draw a line on that point this way, and this point this way. So where the circle is situated is 90 millimeter, 45 millimeter away from this side. How did I know? From here to here is 90, right? These two circles is 90. So if I measure 45 on my meter rule this way, 0 to 45, I'll place it at the center point here. I'm going to mark, or from this point, I'm going to mark 45 here, 45 here. So that will get to the center of my circle. So from here, this will be where my circle will be placed at these two center here. Even the other one here too, 30 from here also, we have the same thing too, right? So if it's 90, if I just place it from this point around here, following this line around here. So where the points meet here, that will be another center here. All together, and we are given 4 holes diameter 10 each. Is that again? 4 holes diameter what? 10 each. So I'm going to each of these are 10 millimeter each, and they look very small. So what I'll just do here is this. What I'll do here is this. Since it's very small, I'll look for um my French curve and look for the one that's diameter 10, and I'll just place it here. Hope you can see that at the center, ensure that it's well centralized. And I'll just draw this stuff here and stuff here. Right? I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing. I'll come here. I'll do the same thing. You can see that. So we have successfully reproduced the figure that you can see at the right hand side of the screen, right, in isometric. Now in our next video, we're going to be drawing this in orthographic projection. So if you have found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video. Thanks for watching.